Good morning. I thought I'd give this morning beer thing a go. Been up for a couple of hours now. It's 10 to 11, so it's not that early, I suppose. I've already had my coffee, so I'm a little bit woke, but I'm still not firing on all cylinders. Still not at 100% yet. And there's my. Thought I've got my bottle opener. And yeah, I've got an oatmeal stout, and I thought, oh, I'm really in the mood for porridge, and I've got a beer that I haven't opened yet. Why don't we give it a try? This will probably never become a regular thing, but yeah, I thought I'd give it a go, see what all the hashtag fuss is about. So going back over to the Rügener Insel-Brauerei, and I know Paul from PA Brew News is a big fan of the way they present their beers. As am I. I think it's a great way to promote and advertise a beer. And yeah, very striking, beautiful, beautiful artwork across all of the beers from these guys. A real unsung hero of German craft beer, I'd say. Even though, of course, they've won international awards and stuff. But a lot of the supermarkets now are carrying their beers, which is happy days. And yeah, so I'm very happy to get as many of these as I can because I am a fan of the brewery. So this is the excuse me, Insel Kap, which is a 5.6% oatmeal stout. Let me see if there's any. Excuse me. No, it doesn't really tell you exactly what hops they've used, but the ingredients list is. So, barley malts, wheat malts, oat malts, Traubenzucker, is that berry sugar? Or no, grape sugar? You can tell that I've just not really started. And yeast. Yeah, that was the thing that I struggled on, yeast. So, yeah, off to a great start. This isn't a terrible beer review by any stretch, is it? Hair's terrible. Don't know what's going on with my hair recently. I mean, look at that. What's going on here? How high is that parting? Anyway, so this is going to be breakfast for me. And a big shout out to my fellow morning beer drinkers like Nicole from Tasting Nitch, Ronald from Ron Theriot, Louisiana Beer Reviews. I'm sure there's a few others who are partial to a morning beer. And you know what? What's the problem? I mean, you could go back in the UK, you could go to like a Wetherspoons, get a breakfast, and you could be served a pint. Just because it's got alcohol in it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. And yes, I am wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because my mum likes to send me care packages every now and then, and there's always childish but comfortable t-shirts in there for me to just lounge around in. Something which I'm very good at. So why not dress for the occasion? But yeah, it's starting to get a tiny bit cold now here in Germany. But then the next day it's like approaching 30 degrees, so you want to just end it all. But yeah, autumn is going to be finally here soon. The greatest season of them all. I love autumn. I just love the colour scheme of autumn. I love the atmosphere of autumn. I love to romanticize things when it comes to autumn. You can wear coats, jumpers, scarves, cardigans, long pants. Oh, autumn. Halloween. Curb Your Enthusiasm starts again in the autumn. What more do you need? And yeah, seasonal beers. I don't know, just autumn is... It's going to be one of those reviews where it's more me talking than actual review, but yeah, summer can go bite my arse, to be honest. I'm too fat and pale to enjoy the summer. But anyway, we're here to talk about beer, so let's get this beer opened and see what we get. Nice amount of smoke in there. Not sure how well that was shown on camera. So an oatmeal stout. I have had the Baltic stout from these guys, and that was a wonderful beer. Really, really was. This one is, I think, considerably lower in ABV. So hopefully it's still just as luxurious as that was. Beer in the glass, lighting's working against me, but that pretty much looks jet black, to be honest. Or maybe a really dark, intense, like oaky sort of colour at the very least. But that head is absolutely wonderful, isn't it? 2 fingers worth of a nice sort of like black coffee. Looks like a black coffee, doesn't it? But yeah, khaki, beige. It's not khaki because khaki's got a hint of green to it. Yeah, it's a beige head, very foamy. And then when you look at the top of it, you can't really see it, but it does just look like, you know, you've had Weetabix and you've let it all soak up that milk, and then you heat it up. Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, I'd buy Weetabix, but it's like nearly €3 for a pack of it here in Germany, so you can fuck off, to be honest. Anyway, looks absolutely wonderful. Let's see what we get on the aroma. Well, it's a lot more berry forward, like wild fruits, wild berries, that sort of thing, forest fruits. There is that sort of like grape juice character coming through. Very subtle milk chocolate aroma. Very subtle coffee aroma. Lovely roasted malt characters. You do definitely pick up the oats as well. Smells like porridge. Smells like porridge when you've put a bit of jam in there and you've mixed it round. In fact, do we actually have oats? Because I wouldn't mind having some porridge, to be honest. But yeah, the beer. Very slight toasty note. Very slight woody note in there as well. It's just very subtle and welcoming beer. It's got a sense of robustness to it, but it's not like really in your face with any specific aroma. Lovely balance, but it's a bit more fruitier than I was expecting it to be. Yeah, whatever it is, it smells good. Whatever it is, it smells good. I shouldn't do beer reviews when I'm at my, highest peak. Highest peak? When I'm at the peak of my daily performance. So to do it when I've only been up for a couple of hours, I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but yeah, what could I say? I've got the apartment to myself for a little bit, so one shall live like a slob for a little while. Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to be doing this every day. It's just, it was there. I haven't done a breakfast beer review for quite a while. Got nothing planned for today. Just got to be cleaning up the apartment a little bit. Wiping up the human feces off the floor and that sort of thing. All the used tissues and, just classic. Don't know where I'm going with that terrible joke, but I know where this beer's going. Down the hatch. Chin chin. Ooh. Oh, that's lovely. It's so nice and gentle. It's so soothing as well. The body's got a little bit of velvetiness to it, but it is still it's not a heavy body by any stretch. But it's not like a light, watery body either. There's definitely a grape-like flavour coming through. A little bit of cherry as well. A little bit of maybe a plum and a raisin. But not like potent or anything like that. It is still rather laid back. Slight herbaceousness to it as well. It is roasty, but it's not like a really dark roasted character. You're not really getting too much coffee. You're not really getting too much chocolate. I mean, an oatmeal stout, to me, should warrant a little bit more of a heavier, indulgent body. You get the oats in there. You get that like porridge flavour. You get that slight velvetiness on the mouthfeel. But I just like this to have maybe a little bit more girth to it. That's what she said. But the beer itself, it's actually a good beer for the morning because it's got that sort of like breakfast cereal, porridge, like slightly sweet aspect. But it's not too heavy. So the light body sort of works in its favour for the time of day that I'm reviewing this one. It's a little bit of hoppiness in there. More on the back end. Very light peppery tones in there as well. But it's such a well balanced and rounded beer. It's not the greatest oatmeal stout that I've ever had, don't get me wrong. But it's still a damn good beer. So drinkable. Didn't even shake up the bottle this time. But look at that. Just how lovely does that look? It's just a lovely looking beer. Lovely smelling and lovely tasting. It's a really gentle way to start your day. Of course, when you get that head mixing in with that beer, it makes it a little bit heavier. But yeah, you get woody tones. A lot of woody tones, actually. And now that I've poured it all in, and I've got a bigger head, and I'm drinking that, you do get more of that really nice roasty, toasty character. So it's one of those beers that could even change depending on the way you've served it or the way you're drinking it. This is at room temperature. I haven't chilled it down at all. If you were to do that with a beer like this, you'd lose a lot of flavour. And it'd just be a pointless beer, to be honest. But, yeah. At room temperature, there's no real arguments against this one. Nothing wrong with it. Just could do with a little bit more body. And maybe a little bit more robustness in the flavour. But aside from that, I can't really fault it too much. So in terms of a rating then, for the Insel-Brauerei, Rügener Insel-Brauerei, Insel Kap, 5.6% ABV oatmeal stout. I'm going to give this one a very solid 7 out of 10. Would I try it again? If they had the Baltic Stout there for the same price, I'd probably opt for the Baltic Stout. But if I wanted something gentle and comforting for those autumn, winter months, that's not going to get you too buzzed, and it's not going to be too heavy, then yeah, I'd happily give this one a go. And yeah, this is a brewery that I want to try as many beers as I can. Thankfully, thanks to the supermarkets here in Germany, a lot of their stuff is widely available for the masses. And I know there's a debate between, you know, people who like the concept of all these craft beers making their way to the supermarket, especially back in the UK. I've not been away from the UK for that long, but every time I go back there, There's just so much more range. Are you going to get the freshest examples of that beer? Probably not. But for the price, and especially if you're a reviewer, you know, it's a playground. You can get 3 or 4 review beers, you know, when you do your weekly shop. I mean, yeah, I love to go to bottle shops, and I like buying beers online. But when I'm back in the UK, excuse me, I love to hit up the supermarkets because there are so many great domestic and international craft beers available now. Yeah, you get the ones that are obviously like owned by AB InBev, and you know, it's 9 times out of 10 it's just like the really basic core range. But it's that option, it's that availability. And a lot of people who are trying to get into the world of craft beer, real ale, high quality traditional brews, they can do that now at the supermarket, and they can get a taste for really good beer. And then that's going to help bridge the gap between, you know, going to a supermarket, buying your casual lagers, and going to a bottle shop, which can be a little bit not scary. But I remember when I was getting into this, and I'd go to even shops like Behemoth, and you wouldn't help but feel like you were out of your depth, because there's so much range there, and people who shop there tend to be really passionate about the world of craft beer. So you'd feel a little bit, it'd be a bit foreboding. But when you can get beers like this from a supermarket, that's not going to break the bank too much. You can put a couple of beers in when you're doing your shopping. Who can complain? Yeah. So that's my Peter's final thoughts for today. And yeah, if you've tried this one, as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you've tried any other oatmeal stouts, give me some of your favourites. Recommendations always welcome. Are you a fan of doing breakfast beers? Do you do breakfast beers? I don't know if I'd do this often, to be honest, but it was a nice little change, and thankfully the beer's gentle enough that I don't feel like sick or strangely buzzed about it. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Check out the brewery, going to put all their links down below. Check out my playlist for the brewery, got a few of their beers on the channel already. And more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So, from me to you, that's not how I end a video. Yeah, I need some toast. See you guys later.